There's this film that lives rent-free in my head, in my noggin, and I don't know how it exists or why, but oh my god, am I glad it does. I need you to trust me that what I'm about to show you is it's a real film. This exists. This is something that was released to the public. Thank Jesus, Joseph and Mary. Now this film, ready for the title drop? A Town Called Panic. A Town Called Panic. Or Panique en Village. Panique en Village. French film, yeah. Now, how do I explain this film? Okay, I'll do it like this. This is a French animation stop motion film featuring like not action figures. What are they? Little like toys. I don't really know exactly what they are. The ones with little stands on them. You know, like imagine if I had a stand right now and I'd have to like waddle like that. It's the most absurd film you have ever watched. It's short. It's like 90 minutes run time, maybe even less than that. And the best way I can explain how this film works is it's got like dream-like logic. You know, things just happen. And they don't make sense. If you question it, then the film doesn't work. It does make sense, kind of, if you kind of let it like just flow through your mind. I shouldn't have done that with my hand. But I was shown this film as a kid. My dad sat me down and made me watch this film. God knows how he found it, because I've never met anyone who knows what this film is apart from me and my sister. And I remember watching this as a kid and just fucking loving it. Like this shit was sick. It was just cowboy, horse, Indian, right? These three goofy goobers went on just an unprecedented adventure, doing just things that happened to them, and they kind of had to go along with it. And the weird, wacky shit that happens in this film, we'll get onto it. We're getting onto it. But I recently rewatched this film, and oh my god, does it still stand up? Like I was expecting it to kind of, yeah, it's fun in a kid way. You know, you can enjoy it. What is happening? But no, this shit is a masterpiece. Oh, die on that hill. This shit is a masterpiece. I don't know what it is. I do, and we're gonna get onto that too. Retention. But for some reason, I can't get this film out of my head, and I've had to set up my camera and record this in the middle of some woods. It's the only secluded place I could find. I don't want to do this in front of people. I had to leave my house. So with all that being said, that brings us on to part one. Right, so I've decided it's going to be the best case scenario if I try and retell the plot of this film from memory. So this might not be the exact same way it happens, but it's going to be pretty damn close, because I've watched the film quite a lot. Even then, the way this film kind of pans out, so much happens in such a short time. It's so chaotic that like some things might be a teensy-weensy bit off. Okay, so the film opens with Indian and cowboy, right? They're in bed and they wake up. I don't remember if they wake up or if they get flung out of the bed. When does that happen? Never mind. So as they're waking up, I remember Indian gets in the shower, and I remember laughing at this for no reason. When he gets in the shower, like, he just kind of closes the door and lets the water fill up, like, until it's over his head, and he's like submerged in water, and then he gets out and it all comes out. I think that's really funny. But then they go downstairs and they meet their other roommate or housemate, Horse, right? Horse. So the three main characters, right? We've got Horse, Indian and Cowboy. These are the three characters that we follow through the film. Very unique names, I know. Indian and Cowboy are soon to realise that, shock, it's Horse's birthday, and they've not gotten Horse a gift. So when they realise this, they have to brainstorm on what to get. Oh, and then I think Horse goes to a music lesson with his horse Gyal. He's got like a female horse that like he's interested in. And while he's away, Indian and Cowboy, they're brainstorming what to get, and they decide to make him a barbecue out of bricks.
Viens voir.
Down. Qu'est-ce que c'est, Adieu?
C'est a barbecue.
So they go on this website to start like ordering bricks, and they put in 50, right? 10. I think it's Indian comes in with a coffee mug, a mug of coffee. Yeah. Once it's put down on the counter, the handle is on the 0. So then it starts typing out all these zeros, and then they don't realise this. And by the time he takes the mug off and he clicks enter, bing, 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 buy all the bricks, it's like 50 bazillion, million, quintillion, zillion, yeah? And they don't realise this. Eventually, when a van comes up with the bricks in them, it's just one small van. They're like, oh, okay, here are our bricks. That drives off. Then another one comes in, drops off some more bricks, and like, oh, okay, I guess that's 50. Then bricks. all these bricks start coming through, and it's like built this massive tower or cube of all these bricks, right? They look at the receipt, they have to sign off the receipt, and it says 50, like 700 zeros, but for some reason, Indian then says it's like 50 million.
Take off millions and blink. Oh no!
Which I think is funny. That's kind of like that's kind of why it's so perfect for kids, because like you'd see that number and you just go, that's 50 million, even though it's probably like 50 to the power of 28, which it really isn't 50 million. That's like a number that I don't even know if there's a word for. But 50 million bricks, right? They've ordered 50 million bricks. Horse is like held up by all these brick vans when he's coming home. Sorry, I've just woken up, to be honest, and I'm running off a single coffee and a cigarette, so I need to lock in. Right, let's go. Horse gets back, right? It seems all fine. It seems all fine. He's ready to spend his birthday with the boy dem, you know?
Oh, Muppets on Facebook thinking you're bad, mate. I like it.
So what do they do with all those bricks? Keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah. Then everyone starts coming over for the birthday. You've got policeman, you've got the mailman, the postman, sorry. You've got Stephen. I love Stephen. This is a Stephen appreciation post. Stephen! I forgot what Stephen's wife's called. But they're farmers. They're the ones that live next to Indian Cowboy and Horse. Like there's their house and the house there. Yeah. So then they start getting the booty on, and you know, it's all going well. Stephen's getting absolutely fucking sloshed, like a madman he is. I'm gonna speed this along. I'm speeding this along now. From now on, it's gonna be rapid fire, because this is still like all the first 5 minutes, or like maybe 10 minutes. Like shit happens quick. This party wraps up, and they all go to bed. As they're going to bed, the walls start cracking. It's like an earthquake, right? Oh no! So they all leave the house, and then suddenly, all the bricks fall down, because Indian and Cowboy have stacked the bricks on top of the house, right? All these bricks are on top of the house. They all fall down, and the house is destroyed. House is gone. Next morning, they end up having to rebuild the house. There's a spider on my notebook. Dickhead. So they're gonna start rebuilding the house. They start making the walls and that, and then they start getting stolen. Every time they build these walls, they get nicked by something. I don't know what it is. I do know, but you don't know yet. Well, I'll get to it.
You've been seeming sus lately.
So then one time, they decide to follow back one of these things. Wait, no. So then they hide out, waiting for their walls to be stolen at night, right? So they're hiding in the furniture that somehow survived the house being exploded. I feel like I'm just kind of wobbling about and like, should I stand still, or I don't know. I don't make videos. This is my first video. Oh, what was I saying? They're waiting for this bastard to come back and steal their wall. Cowboy, like a madman, he pops out of this box like, starts spraying, but nothing was really there. But then they do actually end up tracking down this bastard, and he brings them, well, first of all, brings them past this bear, and I think it's Indian gets chased away, or maybe Cowboy, one of the fuckers. And then they end up going into this cave to try and track this thing down. They fall down this little crevice, hanging onto this rock, and they're like, oh, well, this is a shame. How have we ended up here? The bastard that stole the wall, he ends up hanging off the same rock. So they're just like, oh, well, we're here together now. They're wanting the guy that got chased away from the bear, still don't know which one it was, to come down and help them. They come down, they land on it, and it starts to crack it. So it's like, uh-oh. That starts falling down to the centre of the fucking earth. Like, they're going down to the core. This is what's stupid. They just go into a cave, and then there's just the core of the earth right there. Like, this film shouldn't make sense, but at the same time, when you're watching it as a kid, it's just fucking perfect. And then when you're watching it as an adult, it's even more perfect, because you're just like, fuck it, this logic's mental. But and then what I really like is that this shit literally falling at accelerating speeds to the centre of the fucking earth. And they're just playing cards because it's taking so long to fall down. I think that's really funny. Then they get stuck, Cowboy gets lost, they think he dies, they're like, Cowboy, Cowboy, Cowboy!
Cowboy! Cowboy!
Cowboy!
And then this motherfucker calls them up. He's just on the rock above them. Or something like that, I think. Oh, yeah, then Horse gets a phone call from the woman horse, from his lover, or what he wants to be his lover. He drops the phone when he's crawling up the rock, and that goes into the lava, and then fire starts coming out of the phone in Mademoiselle Horse, or whatever she's called, room, and that sets fire to the fucking thing, or something. This is getting hard to remember. They end up getting out of this cave, right? And where do they find themselves? In the fucking Arctic. I am taking a break from making this video. I grabbed myself a meal deal. I'm going to show you my meal deal, review it. So for the main, a barbecue chicken pasta. The pasta's always the best in the meal deal. Always get yourself a pasta. And then for the snack, just for the bang for the buck, I've got myself a a sausage roll. Quite a lot of food for just being a snack in a meal deal. And then for the drink, I've got a full fat Coke. It's one of them named ones, so Maddie, if there's a Maddie watching, this video is dedicated to you. Meal deal section of the video over. So they're suddenly in all this snowy land. They're still with this fucker that stole the wall, by the way. Then this big, this big robot penguin starts driving towards them. They get scooped up by it and like chucked into the snow that's inside. It's like being collecting snow or something. And this thing throws snowballs out of the top of its dome. So they avoid that and they go into this room and it's full with these scientists. Let me tell you about these scientists. They must be some sort of mad Russians, right? Because the power these men had, when they are confronted with these scientists, these guys just whack them about. They're going boosh, 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 like it's Loki versus Hulk. And then they are enslaved, literally. They get like those chains and balls on their feet and like they have to like clean up the station or whatever. So this is like some weird science projects, right? And they've got this globe and they're launching snowballs places for some reason. And they see their home village, you know, the town that's called Panic. And they're like, okay, so we need to get there. So we're gonna get it to throw the snowball to there so we can get back home. They do this, I kind of forget how they do this. There's probably some shenanigans that happens. Oh, yes! The fucker that stole the wall. I told you to remember him. He doesn't like this town because that's not his home. His home isn't in the Panic town, Panic or village. His home's in the water, right? He's a little sea creature. So he, without them knowing, sets the globe thing to the water and they get blasted off into the water and he just jumps back in and he's swimming down to his home. He's swimming down to his crib, MTV gaff. But then these guys are just stuck in the water. I forget how they survive this. They end up just kind of going in the water. They're like, they find the group of like these underwater guys and they're like really strange. So much happens underwater, but I kind of forgot. The underwater bit kind of all merges into my head. Then at some point, they find a way out of the water and it's the puddle that's in front of Stevens! In front of Stevens' yard, right? What the hell happens? They sleep in a barn. Wait, no, that was at the start of the film. I think around this point, Steven does the best thing in the film. His wife makes him a massive cup of coffee and some toast with like Nutella on. By the way, this shot with like when he's spreading Nutella, when she's spreading Nutella on the toast, really satisfying. I don't know how they did it. Props to you guys. It looks hot. No, I do remember. And these water fuckers, they come out of the hole, and it's like a war. They start attacking them inside of Steven's house. I like this bit where Indians like shooting the arrows at the house, and there's literally no point of doing it because the arrows are just kind of bouncing off. I think that's really funny. Then they start like using the bricks to like launch these cows through the fucking window or something like that. But yeah, and then they block them from the hole. They like put a crate over it or something like that. And then whatever happens, whatever. And then they all become friends. Yeah, they all kind of get along. It does like a 1 year later flash forward, right? The house is rebuilt, everything's nice. You see that they freely go down into the water and like they're hanging out underwater with the people. Horse and Madame Horse are together now. They're like top 3 couple goals. Leave your other top 2 couple goals in the comments. And then I think that, yeah, the film ends with like they shoot a firework up into the sky and that kind of goes into the hole by accident, and then all the fireworks like that starts coming out of the ground and it's like exploding. It's like a happy ending there. Yeah, but that's the basic summary of A Town Called Panic. I'm gonna have to cut that down a lot because I was just chatting about this film for about 20 minutes. I think now it's time to talk about why it's so good. Let me look at my notes. For why it works is what I wrote in my notes. It's time to talk about why it works in part 2. Scene change, that's right. New scenery, new background. How'd you like the background? Got a tree here, I think this tree's pretty cool. Why this film works so well, this is what I wanted to talk about. Because it's all well and dandy saying that, oh yeah, this film is good, even though it shouldn't be, this film is good. I don't know. But this film works so well. I've not really had the chance to mention the voice acting yet, so let me get onto that. This is obviously a French film. You've probably seen from the clips now, it's a French film. The voice acting is just so funny. They bring so much energy to these characters, and I don't understand what they're saying. Obviously the subtitles, like, but I think personally it works better that it's a French film and I actually don't know the exact words they're saying, and I'm only reading the subtitles because this isn't racist. But to me, right, I've only done a few lessons of French Duolingo, I'm not fluent. French, in a way, is kind of slightly gibberish, right? But with a few words in there that, train coming by, you know, a few words in there, like, there'll be a word, they'll just say, hoss, cowboy, Indian. That's what they do. That's my best impression. That's pretty good, actually. Honestly, it's just so funny to watch. It makes the comedy so much better, just these guys voice acting. The animation is also just kind of incredible too. This is probably such a low budget thing. I've not actually searched the budget. I'm going to put it here for when I actually figure that out. Is it getting dark? Can you see me still? You probably see me. But considering this is probably on a low budget, right? It's actually crazy how well the animation works.
Bien ici.
Je vous écoute.
And there's so many little details in the back of like shots and stuff. It's just so good. Like, it's a film that you can rewatch a bunch of times, which I have done. And one thing that I swear to God, I saw this film about over a decade ago for the first time. Over a decade ago. I didn't realise until about 3 months ago that I figured out that it's actually based on a series called the same name. I think it's called A Town Called Panic. There was like a mini series of like shorts within this world, and this is like the feature film of that series, and I never knew that until recently, and I've still not watched it. I think there's like 20 episodes or something like that, so I really want to watch those, and if this video gets any more than 5 views, I might talk about it. Probably won't. This won't ever be brought up again. I mentioned at the start that it's got dreamlike logic, and I think that works so well with like the chaotic nature of the film. Things happen, and you kind of have to just go with it. It's at such a quick and snappy pace that it's such a fun viewing experience, man. Like, I'm just glazing this film. Am I in frame? Yeah, okay. I'll just stay over here. You can't see my legs as much in this shot. Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked. Dreamlike logic, right? So it's the things like when they come out of the cave and suddenly they're in like this Arctic terrain, right? But when I watched it as a kid, I didn't even think twice on like, that doesn't make sense. But now watching it, the fact that it doesn't make sense just adds so much to it. But it was the feeling of watching it as a kid and just not having to understand the logistics behind it. The feeling it brought out was just, oh my God, it was so funny. I loved watching it. It's just got this absurd tone that it so loyally sticks to. It never takes a second to say that this is crazy. None of the characters ever go, this is kind of mental, what's happening. It's just as if it's another day, and it's kind of like an annoyance that they have to go through. Its sincerity, it just makes it really land. That, like, you could have made this film and make it really trash, just shit happening for no reason. You could have made it really bad, but my God, does that stick the landing. That's the word. I'm gonna do a quick little side tangent here, okay? It's quick little easy-weensy side tangent. This might sound insane, but another one of my favourite films is Mayhem, and this film is fucking brilliant, Mayhem, right? What I was thinking the other day was Mayhem and A Town Called Panic are the exact same film, right? Trust me. They're really, really not. Like, Mayhem is some gritty crime, drama, like, film. And A Town Called Panic is not. But they've got this kind of thematic overlap, right? Where these three characters, Vince, Hubert, and Saeed, and Horse, Cowboy, and Indian, they're just kind of placed in these chaotic situations, and it's just about how they work with it, what they do. And it's kind of this like non-plot narrative where there's not actually really a plot, it just kind of follows them through a span of a day, right? Oh yeah, and they're both French films. That's also a connection. There's really not much of a connection between the two. I just kind of thought of it at a random point. I was like, yeah, there's maybe some similarities between these two films, and I'm just linking two films that I quite like together because I like them and I want to find links between the reasons why they're my favourite films. A Town Called Panic's not one of my favourite films, but for this video it is. Back to the actual video, okay. But yeah, for those reasons, the dreamlike logic, the childlike whimsy of it all, it just makes for a very fun viewing experience that you just kind of can't deny. It's a one-of-a-kind film. Like, I don't think a film like that's going to be made again. I had so much more to say, but I've kind of forgotten it and I can't be bothered now because I really need to wee and I'm outside and there's lots of flies and I don't want them to like crawl up. Yeah, so I guess that brings us on to part 3. Okay, so part 3 now. We've talked about the plot, we've talked about why it works, and now let's talk about why it's important. See this? We've got structure to this video, yeah? First video, structure, madman. They call me the GOAT. Okay, so why is this film important? I think it all comes down to its absurdity in nature and just how unapologetically itself the film is. Clearly with its short series that it had before this feature film, it found a style and storytelling technique that it just stuck with, and it's just a perfect sense of whimsy, wonder, childlike imagination. Should I stop wandering around? I feel like I'm still wandering around and I've already asked this question. Fuck off. The reason I'm making this video now, right, is because I think media nowadays is just becoming so drawn down and just so bleh. It's too scared to do anything different, it's too scared to stand out of the norms, and I think this film is a perfect time capsule of like what films should be. I'm not saying films should be all like A Town Called Panic in the fact that it's chaotic shit just fucking happens and it's like funny, it's French little guys running around. I'm saying modern day films should take note of the fact that trying out weird shit that isn't normalised should be the thing that should be normalised. You need to lean into the weird and wacky world. Like, if we're making films by nature are fiction. So why are we trying to ground it in a world that we already live in? That can work great for films. The Hen that I was just talking about, that's grounded in realism. But it also tried things differently, the way it was stylized. And films just aren't stylized like that anymore. It doesn't stick with a style. And that's why A Town Called Panic is just so perfect. Holy shit, it's like heaven's just shone down on me. The whole sky just lit up. What else am I talking about? So all in all, this is a film that I watched as a kid. I was shown as a kid. And I may not have understood the film when I was a kid, but I felt it. I felt the film. And years on, I still feel that exact same feeling when I watch it now than what I felt then. It's just I have the knowledge that I actually understand the film too now. And in a way that makes it so much better now, but it's the feeling that really carries this film. You owe it to yourself to experience the best fever dream to ever have been put onto film. Go and find out to watch this film. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. You can rent it really cheap. If you sail the 7 seas, you can find it somewhere, you know. Or like, fucking don't. Like, this is just a stupid video where I'm just yapping about some French action figure films. Not even action figures. I just love this film. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. You don't have to watch the film, but I would recommend you do. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Gotten really dark. I didn't even realise. By the way, on this channel, I'm just going to talk about whatever the hell I find interesting at the time. So right now I was thinking about A Town Called Panic, so I made a video on A Town Called Panic. I was going to make a video on Skylanders, so if you want to see a video about Skylanders and its rise back to popularity again, because it's kind of making a comeback, and I'm all here for it. I love Skylanders. But yeah, I guess if you want to see more of me just fucking yapping your head off, talk about whatever I find interesting, subscribe or something. But yeah, I'm going to go inside and take a wee now. I'm dying for a wee.